All right, so look at number one. Number one is a very easy problem. You don't even have to show any work. What do you have to do when it says evaluate and it gives you G of 4? What do? Just plug it in. So you guys need to plug 4. Every place there's an X in the problem, we're going to plug 4. So it's going to look like this when you put it in the calculator. Don't forget, when you plug something in, you got to use parentheses. So plug that in, let's see what we get. Shoes what he got done in his head. Plug it in for me here. 3 times 4 squared plus 5 times 4 minus 6. What'd you get? Yep, everybody's getting 62. Does that sound right? See what case it is. If you forgot what the square button is, let me know. You guys can do number 1, you should be able to do number 2. Same kind of problem. Good? All right, this is what you're going to do. Everybody's going to plug that in your calculator. So right now, that's all we're doing. Let's see how you plug it in. What'd you do? Yeah. Anybody else? Miss it? Let me look at it. We good? Good? Let me try number 2 then. 2 is the same way as number 1. Just plug it in your calculator. Make sure y'all use your square button. Make sure you plug it in inside parentheses. So number 2, we're going to plug in -1. That would be 6 times -1 squared. Now, if you don't put the -1 inside parentheses, you're going to mess up. Show me number 2 on the calculator. N squared. Show me number 2. Squared.
Hey, Coach.
Hey, good morning.
Good morning. Everything going well?
Everything's going great.
All right. Good deal.
These guys are excited to be back and get started.
Absolutely. Y'all let me know if you need something.
Yes, sir.
Have a great day, guys.
Show me number 2. -4 times -1 plus, N plus 7. All right, for the second one, the answer should be 17. Show me what you got. You didn't use parentheses, right? You got to use parentheses on the calculator, guys. If you don't, the calculator's not going to figure it out in the right order. So the second answer should be 17. Now, number 3 should be easy because we're plugging in 0. You might can do that one in your head. 4 times 0 minus, whoops. 4 times 0 minus 3. Plug that in. That one should be quick.
That's 1.
4 times 0 minus 3. I just probably don't need to listen to Chance at these times. No? What? Yeah. Okay. Now, number 4, you're going to have to work out by hand. You guys that know what you're doing, try to plug 4 in by hand and work it out. You can't plug 4 in the calculator. Good. Good. 3. What'd you get? Yeah. Good. We got you. Yeah, that's garbage. These 3 good. And we'll go over 4. I'm just going to see if anybody can do it by themselves. No. Okay, I missed it too. Everybody missed it? All right, let's go to 4. All right, this time, what are we plugging in on 4? We're plugging in 3A. So I got, I go to the next page. Alright, so I gotta plug 3a, I'm gonna plug it right here, so it's 5 minus 6 times 3a squared. How come we can't do this on the calculator? It's got an a, you can't enter 3a in your calculator. So, what's the first step? Yeah, parentheses, we're gonna square. Now, if it's got a square right here, guys, that means you gotta write it down twice. So it's 3a times 3a. Times that out, what do you get? 3 times 3 is 9a squared. So I'm going to substitute 9a squared in that spot. So it looks like that. Now finish it out and combine like terms on your last step. You got to do this one by hand. All right, so your final answer should be, we're going to times those two. I got 5 minus 54a squared. Are those like terms? No, so I'm done. Good.
Are you sure we learned this?
All right, did I mess up somewhere? We're good? This is stuff y'all should have went over last year. Just starting off with some easy stuff. All right, question on 4 before we go to 5. Let's see what 5's got. This time we got to plug in x plus 1. Let's make sure I did that right. So x plus 1, I got to plug it in where the x is, and every time you plug something in, you got to put parentheses around it. So write that down. Probably won't be able to use your calculator much on this one either. Okay, on the last problem, go back and look at 4. What did we do first? We did our exponent. We squared it first. We're going to have to square this one first. That x plus 1 squared, we're going to write that twice. Okay, x plus 1 squared, you got to write it twice. That's the first thing you got to do. You got to do your exponents first. Now the 7, we're just going to bring it down in front, and the minus 3, we're just going to bring it down in the back. All right, any question on that first step? I'll wait on you. All right, so now we're going to do something. You guys did this like middle school. We're going to FOIL this out. We're going to do the FOIL method. The 7, we're just going to leave it in front. We'll deal with it later. All right, so x times x gives you x squared. I'll let you write it down. X times 1, that gives me 1x. Now slide over, and I'm now going to times them both by the 1. So I get 1x again. 1 times 1 is 1. All right, you need to have that written down. So if you guys forgot how to fold it out, that's your step before. All right, look right here inside the parentheses. Y'all see anything that's like terms? Yeah, we can add these two up. Right, don't they have the same exponent? So 1x plus 1x, we're going to add that up, and I'm going to replace that with 2x. All right, next step, I'm going to let y'all do this by yourself. You should be able to finish it up. Now distribute your 7. After that step, combine your like terms, you'll be good. So this is what our first quiz is going to be over. This type of stuff, probably Thursday or Friday. You're going to have a bunch of these like number 5 on the quiz. I don't think the 4 is right, but I could be wrong. I could be wrong, Casey.
Do you have to simplify?
Yeah, it might be right. Simplify, yes, combine like terms. All right, so first step, we're going to times by 7. So 7x squared plus 14x plus 7. The minus 3, we're just going to bring it down. Okay, so yeah, it looks good, Casey. Anybody got a question there?
You should try 7.
7 times x, 7 times 2, yes. Now 7 minus 3 just gives you 4, right? Good, Willie. So it's plus 14x, positive 4. That will be your final answer. So 1, 2, 3. I did it in 4 steps. You know, you could do it in fewer steps if needed, but just you're going to have to show me some work on this. All right, try 6 now. Same type problem. We're going to start off number 6 just like we started off number 5. You guys are going to plug in your x minus 3. Every place there's an x. You're going to put parentheses around it when you plug it in. You're going to follow the same steps we did on number 5. All right, so look at my 6 on the board. When you plug in x minus 3, it should look like that. Okay, our first step, we got to write this x minus 3 down twice, and we got to fill this out. And I'm looking around. Some of you guys are filling this out in your head. That's fine. But if not, write it down, show your steps. I'll give you a second to look at that. If you had math second semester last year, you're probably going to be further ahead than the ones that had the first semester. I think that's good. Where'd you get for it? I think that's good. All right, so watch me. We're going to first times by the x, y'all should have x squared minus 3x. Slide over now and distribute your negative 3. Y'all should have another negative 3x and a positive 9. Okay, anything there that's like terms? Yeah, we can add that up. So negative 3 plus negative 3 is negative 6, right? All right, so that is what you should have after you have pulled that out. You still got to bring the 5 down and put it in front. Now you have to distribute your 5. Do that. Distribute your negative 3 here. Combine like terms. See if you get it. Pretty close, Sheen, but you messed that last number up. Yeah. That's right. Everybody else is getting 58. Instead of 54. So who else has got? No. That Willis was at 55. Everybody else is getting minus 33 right here.
So then times 27.
Everybody else is getting minus 33, watch. All right, so watch me. Let's see if we can find your mistakes. I got 5x squared, 5 times negative 6. Willie, make sure you got negative 30 right there, not positive 30. 5 times 9 is 45. All right, we're going to distribute over here. I got negative 3x, positive 9, bring down to positive 4. So from there, combine your like terms. And most people are getting like negative 33x plus 58. See if that's what you come up with. Where'd you get, Casey? So you add these two up. The only question I got is where did your 45 go? See, I got a 45 up there. I don't see your 45 anywhere. Oh. Right here, Allie, look. Allie, this x minus 3 right here is not squared, so you don't have to fold it there. You can
Okay.
just distribute
That's
it.
what I did.
You just put a square on it. All right, so final answer. This is the only x squared, it goes in the front. There's an x, there's an x. I add them up, that'll give me negative 33. Alright, so I got 45 plus 9 plus 4. Most people had 58 on that. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 steps on that. Alright, so we're good on 1 through 6. Alright, starting on number 7, guys, completely different type problems. Instructions say, state the domain of each equation. So, what is your domain? Let me write this one down. So, I got 5x over 5x minus. Alright, so when it asks for your domain, it's just asking you to list all the possibilities you could have for an answer. When you have a fraction, it's a little bit different because let's say we just had 5 on top, and let's say we had 0 on the bottom. I want everybody to put this in your calculator, hit equals, see what it gives you. If you guys forgot the shortcut to find the fraction, remember, you hit alpha, the green button. It's alpha x, and it puts a fraction bar on your calculator to do that. I'm sure y'all saw that last year. All right, so when you put 5 on top and 0 on bottom, what does it give you on the calculator? It should say error. What is the error? You can't have a 0 on the bottom, guys. That's the error. So here's the deal. When we're trying to find the domain, we got to make sure we don't get 0 on the bottom. So how we make sure that is, you're going to disregard the top, not even worry about the top. We're just worried about not getting 0 on the bottom. You're going to take what's on the bottom and set it equal to 0. I need y'all to write it down. Everybody write down 5x minus 4 equals 0. Okay, now, we're going to solve this for x. Everybody take minus 4, move it over, make it positive 4. All right, what's the last step if I want to solve that for x? Y'all remember? Divide by 5. So look, I got 4/5 for my answer. Okay, so what does that mean? That means if we were to plug 4/5 in right here, and you put that in your calculator, you would get a 0 on the bottom. So you cannot have that. You can have any other answer would be okay because you wouldn't have a 0 on the bottom. So the way you write it, for all the x's you could have for an answer, you can't have 4/5. So x cannot equal 4/5. If you can't make the squigglies, just make parentheses. Try to make the squigglies. Here's the deal. By doing this part right here, Casey, you figured out, okay, 4/5 is the number that would give me 0. If I plugged 4/5 right there and I did 5 times 4/5 minus 4, it's going to give you 0. And remember, you can't have 0 on the bottom. So when you write your domain, you can have anything for an answer as a possibility, except you can't have 4/5 because that would mess the problem up. So this is how you write your answer. All right, let's do another one just like that. I believe number 9 is just like number 7. Let me look at it. It is. I want you guys to do number 9 just like we did number 7. Follow the same steps. See if you can do it by yourself, and I'll put it on the board. Oh, ready? Alpha x. Just leave it 6 over 7. Don't make it anything. Yes. All right, let's look at number 9. If you didn't get 7, let's look at 9. I'll go through 9 just the same way we did 7. On these problems, disregard the top. We're not worried about the top. Set the bottom equal to 0 like that. Write it down. All right, from here, all you have to do is solve for x on the bottom. So y'all gonna move -6 over, make it +6. So when you divide by 7, I get 6/7 for my answer. What that means is, if you plug 6/7 in on the bottom, you're gonna get 0. That's why we set it to equal to 0 to figure out which one is gonna give us 0. That's the only answer you can't have. So to write your answer, for all the x's you could have, x cannot equal 6/7. Because that will give you another solution. All right, 8 is not like 7 and 9, so let's skip that one for right now. Let's flip over on the back, see if we can find some problems like 7 and 9. 11 and 14. So you guys go ahead and do 11 and 14. Do them both like we just did 7 and 9. And then we'll do the other ones in a minute. Last year, year before, last year. I can see a little resilience. All right, you ready? Alpha X. All right, so for number 11, we disregard the top, bring the bottom down, set it equal to 0. -4 over, that's a +4. Now here's number 11. For all the x's you could have, x cannot equal 4/3. All right, try 14 the same way. Show me at least one step if you would. Yeah. You guys who are working ahead, you're going to start number 8 off the same way we started off all these other ones. So if you want to go ahead and start on number 8, and when you start to solve, see if it comes back to you. Giving everybody a chance to finish number 14. Then we'll go to 8. Let's see what Watson's got. Show what you're doing. Yeah, just leave it for you. Hold on. Divide by 3 plus 5 out of x minus 3 over 5. So it'll be 5/3.
I thought you like subtracted 4.
No, it should be 5 divided by 3.
At the end.
Not 3 divided by 5. Okay. All right, let's go to number 8. I'm going to not show 14. It's just like those other 3. I'm going to assume you guys can do it. All right, 8's going to be different. You're going to have to solve it differently. All right, so how we started, guys, is the same way we started on the other 4. Y'all disregard the top, bring the bottom down, and set it equal to 0. Write that down. Got to write that step down. All right, from here, a couple different ways you could work it out. One way you could work it out, you could do the quadratic formula. We're not going to do quadratic formula, but you guys remember this? Surely y'all did that. Anyway, 4ac minus, I forgot it, negative b plus or minus b squared minus 4ac over 2. All right, surely last year y'all worked on that in Coach White or Miss Carter, whoever's class you were in. You could do that and get the answer. We're going to do it a faster way. We're just going to factor on this one. All right, what do these two numbers have in common? X. So take out an x. Do it like that. It's a lot faster to factor. All right, so I started off with x squared, took one out, so now I got just one x there. Took that x out, so I got just minus 4 there. Question, how we factored it out? Took out an x. All right, see if you guys can remember this. How many answers does this problem have to have? It's got to have 2 because that's my biggest exponent, right? So the first answer comes from this x. X equals 0. That's your first answer. The second answer comes from this X. What happens if I move minus 4 over here? Positive 4. So those are my answers, both of them. That means if I plug 0 on the bottom, it'll give me a 0. And if I plug 4 on the bottom, it'll give me a 0. So I can't use either one of those. So for all your x's, you could have x cannot equal 0 and x cannot equal 4. That is how you do one like that. Let me see it. We'll come back to that one. Do that one. All right, next I want everybody to go to number 13 because number 13 is just like number 8, I believe. Let me check it. Yep. Everybody skip ahead to 13. Do it just like we did number 8. Same steps. Got x squared plus 5x equals 0. All right, what do we do first? Take out an x, right? How many answers will we have on this one? 2. What's the first answer from here?
0.
First answer, 0. What's the second answer from here?
There we go.
So for all my x's on this one, x cannot equal 0 and negative 5. All right, which ones we got left? We got to do 10 and 12. All right, let's do 10. All right, this one's a little different as far as the solving part. Disregard the top, bring the bottom down. Set it equal to 0. Just like we did all the other ones. All right, how is this one different from number 8, the last type we just did? That is a perfect square, but number 8 and number 13, they both had an x in common, right? This one does not. So the fastest way to finish this one from here, let's move minus 4 over. Let's make it a positive 4. Now you can do quadratic formula on this one too. What's the opposite of a square if I want to get rid of that square? Take a square root, right? What's the square root of 4? All right, now hold on. How many answers was this problem supposed to have?
2.
2. So what are both the answers? Y'all remember?
2 and negative 2.
There you go. Plus or minus 2. Anytime you take a square root of a number, you got to do plus or minus. So that means the first answer is positive 2, the second answer is negative 2. All right, so for all your x's you could have, x cannot equal plus or minus 2. All right, so we got one more. See if y'all can do number 12 just like we did number 10. We'll go over this stuff again tomorrow. We'll have a quiz on it Thursday or Friday. We got some other stuff to do.